What is going on, guys? Counterfool here. Just a quick reminder, you've seen the same gameplay from the last two videos. I have not touched my Xbox for about a week, and I've been super busy, so I haven't really got around to recording anything. I don't like to stop out gameplays, because the laptop I use to record is pretty shitty. So, we'll just go right into what this video is. It's the Week 5 predictions. I was 9-7 last week for Week 4. And right now for Week 5, I'm 0-1 because the Rams beat the Cardinals. So, yeah, pretty bad start. But I did say I would not be surprised if the Rams won it. So, they definitely outplayed the Cardinals. So, let's just get right into the games. Eagles versus Steelers, battle for Pennsylvania. Eagles coming off a surprising win against the Giants. Steelers coming off a bye, but are healthy now. They have Troy, James Harrison, and Mendenhall back. I think the Eagles still win this game. They're still going to be pretty rusty on defense. So I think the Eagles just get away with this one. I think it's too easy. It's going to be too easy for the Eagles because of the fact that the Steelers' defense is rusty. All they have to do to win the game is stop that passing attack from the Steelers, and they got themselves a win. Next game, we have the Green Bay Packers versus Colts. Green Bay coming off a 1-point win against the Saints. Colts coming off a bye, and their coach getting diagnosed leukemia. It looks like he probably won't coach the rest of the season. It's going to be a close game because the Colts are going to fight, and I think the Packers still win this game, but I'm rooting for the Colts to win because they did lose their coach for possibly the season. So I just think the Packers still win it, but I think I'm rooting for the Colts in this game. Next game we have the 0-4 Brownies, and then we have the New York Giants. New York Giants win this game. I think the Browns are close in all games, but they just can't finish them. Brandon Whedon does good for the first 3 quarters, but when it comes to the fourth quarter, he just goes bad. They gotta find something to help him because he's getting through the first 3 quarters, but he can't finish the last one, and that's where the Giants finish their games. So the Giants win this game. Next game we have the 4-0 Falcons versus the 2-2 Washington Redskins. I've been seeing a lot of people picking the Redskins, which I don't understand why. I think they're a very overrated team at this point. No offense to the Redskins fans, but you got a lot of injuries on defense. Your offense line's kind of beat up a little bit. RG3 has been making some mistakes, so I think if he's going to have a bad game, it's going to be against the Falcons. So I think the Falcons win this game, and they go to be the only undefeated team after this week. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the 3-1, surprising 3-1 Bengals. I think the Bengals win this game just because they have the better offense. Their defense is pretty banged up. I think they went into last week without their top 4 corners, maybe top 5. So I think Cincinnati just wins this based off offense. Even though the Dolphins have the top rush defense, they have a pretty bad pass defense. So I think Andy Dalton has improved. I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump like Cam Newton is. So I think the Dolphins go away and win this game. Not the Dolphins, the Bengals. I think the Bengals sneak away this week, you could say. Next we have the Baltimore Ravens coming off a win against the 0-4 Browns, against the Chiefs, who coming off their first win against them terrible Saints. So I think the Ravens win this one. They're definitely the better team right now. Chiefs might put a little fight in it, but I think the Ravens will win because the Chiefs' pass defense is kind of a little bit wonky. So I think the Ravens win this because Joe Flacco is making passes. Joe Flacco is doing something. So that, yeah. For the Chiefs to win this, Jamal Charles might need another 200 yards rushing. Ravens' rushing defense isn't the greatest this year, so it could be easy 200 yards for Jamal Charles. I doubt it'll happen, but yeah. Actually, the Chiefs lost this week. I forgot about that. They got destroyed by the Chargers. Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks coming off a loss against the Rams versus the Carolina Panthers. It's a very hard game to predict because Seahawks lost to the Rams, who were not a bad team, but they kind of have a terrible offensive line. I want to say the Seahawks based on this one because I think Russell Wilson will have a better game because he's playing a lesser defense. The Rams have a good defense. I think that should be known now. The Panthers only really have linebackers. They have a pass rush, but I don't see it showing up this game. I think the Seahawks win this basically because of Marshawn Lynch. For the Panthers to win this game, I think they just gotta minimize the turnovers. That's how Seattle's defense is gonna be. It's gonna be physical and it's gonna cause turnovers, and you need to avoid that. Next, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bears coming off a very good win against the Cowboys. Jaguars are coming off a loss, I believe. I forgot who they played. Though they played the Bengals. That's right. The Bears, I still don't trust that offensive line. The Jaguars, I don't know what's wrong with them. They have Blaine Gabbert do for 2 or 3 quarters and then just goes invisible. So I'm just going to take the Bears based off their defense, really. They have one of the top defenses. They showed that Monday night. I think they'll have another great game against the Jaguars, so I'm going to take the Bears this game. Next game, we have the Broncos versus the Patriots. Both coming off blowout wins. Yes, I know. I think the Patriots win this game. I just think Peyton Manning still isn't Peyton Manning. I think Tom Brady is a very angry man because they're 2-2 and they're not leading that division. Technically they are, but it's a 4-way tie right now. So they would like to get that division lead now. So I think they'll beat the Broncos. Only way I see the Broncos win this game is if they could stop Tom Brady. But he is a man on a mission, and if Aaron Hernandez is back, it's going to be a tougher game for the Broncos. The Broncos are also missing their top linebackers, so that matchup with Gronkowski, you might have to throw a corner or a safety on him. That might spread the field a little bit. Might be a little bit of a problem for the Broncos. Next game, we have the Bills versus the 49ers. I hate having 4 o'clock games because I have to wait till 4 o'clock. And seeing that we're playing the 49ers, it makes it even worse. I think the 49ers win this game. I think they're the best team with an asterisk next to their name. I think they need to start thinking we might have to start putting Colin Kaepernick in more. He destroyed the Jets last. He just destroyed them. He did wildcat plays, that's all, but he was pulling off some big runs. I believe he got an 80-yard run for a touchdown, maybe a 30-yard. I don't know. The stats a little bit weird there. I just think the 49ers will win this game. The only way I see the Bills winning this game is if they don't turn the ball over and Alex Smith does. I think that's the only possible way. So it seems unlikely. Next we have the Tennessee Titans versus the Minnesota Vikings. Surprising Minnesota Vikings, 3-1 leading that division. I think they'll continue that lead because the Titans, they will miss Jake Locker will be missing this game. And I think the Vikings are just getting better every week. I think they're a team to be reckoned with now. Everybody didn't really expect them to come out. Everybody thought their offensive line would be pretty bad. Matt Cleo, the offensive tackle they drafted, is not allowed a sack yet. That's impressive for a rookie. I don't think he's gone up against any major pass rushing. So it's something to look out for. Um, what else? Chris Johnson kind of came back last week, 100 yards rushing. But he's facing the Vikings defense, who Chris Johnson got like 110. I forgot what the stat was. It was over 100, but most of his yards came between the tackles. The Vikings allowed the least amount of rushing yards in between tackles, so it's an interesting matchup. I think for the Titans to beat the Vikings, you got to pretty much pass on them. I thought their secondary would be pretty bad this year. I haven't seen it in them play yet, so it's kind of hard to judge them. But they're 3-1, so their defense got got a special teams touchdown and had a pick six last week. I think their defense and special teams is definitely winning them games. Even though Ponder's I think he's actually the second most efficient quarterback. He's just getting more and more better each week. And now that he's got Jerome Simpson back, Percy Harvin's not injured, and Adrian Peterson's getting stronger every week. A team to look out for when it comes to the end of the season. Next, we have the 3-1 Chargers versus the 0-4 Saints. Drew Brees coming off a game where he lost by 1 point, but he tied Johnny Unitas' record for most touchdown passes every week. Actually, let me rephrase that. Touchdown pass straight. I can't think. Most touchdown pass. Actually, oh wow, I'm failing. Most. I can't. Why do I keep saying most? Touchdowns in one game. Not one game. Oh my god, I'm failing. You get what I mean. He has 48 touchdowns in 48 straight games. He's thrown touchdown 48 straight games. There we go. That's what I was looking for. A little bit distracted there. Personally, I don't think that record is that impressive because Johnny Unitas did it in the 60s, I believe, when it wasn't really a pass-happy league, and they played 4 less games. So it's nice to see him break a record that someone hasn't done in years, but once again, we're in a pass-happy league with 4 extra games, so it's not impressive, but it's still impressive because he broke the record, the first ever, he's got the record for it. But I really think, actually, let me talk about the Chargers a little bit here. Surprisingly, Jackie Battle got a lot of burn in that game last week. Impressed a lot of people, and he's still starting. He's still starting the depth chart, but don't look too much into that. The Chargers defense, they have one of the top defenses in the league. I'm gonna say the Chargers win this game. Saints are 0-4. They miss Sean Payton. I think it only gets worse for them. I think week 8. I've been saying week 6, but week 8 Joe Vick returns. I think that's a little bit too late for them. That's mid-season. They're not gonna win 10 straight games. I just don't see it. But we'll never know. It's the NFL. But I think the Chargers win this game. I think overall they're the better team at the moment. I think that offense for the Chargers is going to have a field day against that defense. I just feel bad for the Saints. They've done good for the past couple of years, and now they're the Aints. The good old Aints. It's really, I just don't know what's really wrong with them. They just terrible on defense, how you could say. That offense ain't up to par, but we got weeks to see this. So next we have the Houston Texans, the 4-0 Texans, against the Jets. Texans win this game. Here's my little thoughts on the Jets. They are the worst team in the NFL now. In the past 2 weeks, they lost their best defensive player and their best offensive player. They are the worst team in the NFL now. I won't be surprised if Tebow starts next week. I won't be surprised if he ends up playing half this game. I think it's time. I think Sanchez is done here, and I think Rex Ryan is done here. I really think, even though they're 2-2, they are the worst 2-2 team in NFL history. You can say they're just that bad. That defense is based around Revis. He's gone. Tony Holmes was the only weapon on that offense. He's gone. It's a possibility they could lose both of them.